I'm SnoopCoop225, and this is my magic Datapack. And now we wait a second. Probably cut this part out, because it's going to take me a minute to full. Alright, let's get started, shall we? We're going to be covering a few things first of all. This is going to be most of it, mostly an explanatory video of how the Magic Datapack works. More so. I might release a video later that is to explain all the different spells. Alright. Firstly, we're going to cover spell casting types. The first type of spell casting is component casting. You grab a component for a spell, such as a fire charge for the fireball spell, and you activate the spell by shifting and then unshifting. If you shift, you can swap to other parts of your hand and not cast spells. As soon as you stop shifting, the spell is cast. Alright, and then there is runic casting. By using the /trigger command and any of these, you can create spells. For the fireball spell, it is red, red, green, red. To create a circle, all you need to do is cast one rune first. This creates the circle, and then you do your spell sequence. Red, red, green, red, as displayed here. Runes are a bit tricky, so don't be alarmed if you can't identify them your first try. A useful tool for helping identify spells is the showing circle. Casted with flint, it allows you to hold spell components and see what the spell circle is supposed to look like, with this being the starting point. However, it can be quite hard to identify spell components. So, this is where Magic Sense comes in. If you get Eyes of Ender, you can cast Magic Sense. This allows you to sense magical items, and non-magic ones are unaffected. So you can tell when you have a magic item. There are 2 levels to Magic Sense. The first one is gibberish, but now you can also hear when you cast spells or if someone near you casts a spell. The second level is words. You can now see below your, or I guess above your hotbar, that you have words that show you what spell you're casting. Now, if my mana will quickly regenerate, you can see I have mana displayed off to the side there. I can see that I am holding a fireball spell. Casting said spell will use up mana, and I'll be allowed to cast it. Alright. Those are the two ways of casting. Now let's get into some of the fun stuff. Mana is a component material for casting spells. It gets naturally spent whenever you cast spells and naturally regenerates over time. This regeneration is directly tied to specific items, but also how much armor you currently are wearing. Wearing more armor versus less armor will use up, or not use up, but it will slow down mana regeneration considerably. Crafting table, because we're going to be crafting some items. The first item of note is an item to help with mana regeneration. The first item is the wizard hat. Wearing this item is a bit tricky. You can't simply put it on your head. You must have it in your hand and right click. It will place it on your head and you will look like a proper wizard. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's a considerable difference in how much mana I regenerate with the hat on versus without the hat. This difference can be seen better if I equip some diamond armor. We'll just equip that much since the hat doesn't provide any additional armor. You can see my mana regeneration is basically a standstill. Now I can put the hat on and you can see it is much quicker. Mana regenerates randomly, so it might not always be uniform in generation. The next item we're going to talk about is an item useful for casting runic spells. The next item is the magic staff. This item displays your runes, or the current selected rune that you have above your hotbar, similar to the way that you can see spells. Currently, it is displaying red rune. To place down a red rune, all I have to do is unshift with the staff in my hand. This will not activate spells, and it will simply place runes. To swap runes, I simply right-click, and it swaps to the next rune in the lineup. You might have to do this a few times, but once you find the one you want, simply shift and unshift. Whenever I have the right sequence, the spell activates. Now, there is a punishment for, say, casting the wrong spell. If I simply put down a red rune and maybe a black rune, this isn't a spell. You can see it because the circle isn't lighting up. However, if I try to cast this anyways, you might be met with a bit of a nasty surprise. Don't worry, holes like this can be fixed. With some simple sand. Just some sand. The sand floor spell allows me to have an infinite regenerating floor. Very useful for testing. Anyways, magic staff allows me to place runes. But let's say you placed a bunch of runes, but you don't actually want these runes. All you have to do is place a pink rune. Pink runes, unlike other runes, will get rid of the runes without destroying circles. Circles are neat in this way. Additionally, you can just kill a circle if you want to get rid of it. Let's talk about the next item. We're going to talk about tomes, scrolls, and the fun that can be had with them. Firstly, to make a scroll, all you have to do is place paper in your offhand. It will show you a magic scribing spell. To activate the magic scribing spell, it is the same way to activate a regular spell. However, to actually do it, you need a regular spell component in your main hand. You activate the spell, it consumes the component, and now you have a fireball spell scroll. Same with the tome. Normally, tomes are empty until you scribe something onto them. Scrolls work just like components, except non-magical people can still cast them. Even if I wasn't a wizard, I can still cast it. Tomes are a lot the same as scrolls, except they have one additional condition. They need lapis. They consume lapis and mana instead of components, making them ideal for early game, especially if you don't want to have to deal with runes. Additionally, as mentioned earlier, non-magic casters can also use them, making them ideal for multiplayer servers. Lastly is the spellbook. The spellbook is the apex of magic items, not only being a writable book for you to record your spells in, but you can also use it by placing spell components in your offhand, spellbook in main hand, and you might have noticed, or you might not have, but if you look, it does not consume components, it only consumes mana, making it ideal for late game play. Alright, there are some additional things in the Magic Datapack that I might go over in another video. But for now, I think that'll do me. It wasn't a long video, but if you want to see more of this, check me out on Twitch. I don't know, I stream occasionally. Hey, post video editing Snoop. This is the first ever video I'm going to be posting on this channel, so I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't really made videos before, so I hope it's not too terrible. Hope it's not unwatchable. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. If you liked it, like the video, share it maybe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.